Hi guys, this is Omer from MMOHut.com, and I'm doing another quick weekly recap of MMO news and announcements for the week ending June 5th, 2011. And as you can see from the video playing in the background, the first piece of news that we're going to take a look at has to do with Champions Online. Well, actually, the company behind Champions Online, Cryptic Studios. And the news is that Perfect World Entertainment has signed an agreement to purchase Cryptic for $50 million. And that's the same Perfect World behind Battle of the Immortals, Jade Dynasty, Ether Saga Online, and numerous other free-to-play games. And now that Perfect World owns Cryptic, I suspect that Star Trek Online will also be free to play in the near future, especially since Champions Online, the only other game by Cryptic, has already went free to play, and now the company is owned by Perfect World, which is all about free to play. Aside from Tencent buying Riot Games, which makes League of Legends a while ago, this is the second time actually a Chinese MMO company has bought a Western MMO company, at least to my knowledge. And for the record, not sure which record, this piece of news came out on May 31st, 2011. Up next, guys, which also came out on May 31st, Blackshot released the Second World War update. And for those that didn't know, Blackshot is a 3D MMO FPS published by 2War. The update adds new realism to characters, a new multi-weapon system where players can choose their weapons mid-battle, and new items from the World War II era. Not sure why there's World War II era weapons in a modern tactical shooter, but hey, that's their choice. The game also used to be Europe only, but now it is available worldwide. The next bit of news, guys, also comes on May 31st, and it is also for another FPS game called Crossfire, and it's called the Western Patch. The Western Patch adds a new elimination map called Tombstone, which is a deserted desert town. New weapons include the Rose Combat Axe, the Rose Grenade, the FR-F2, and Blue Smoke. Also included in the are Helmet A-Type, protection goggles, radio backpack, and compact radio. The update also adds a new in-game messenger system to Crossfire. And in case you're curious, the video you're seeing in the background right now is actually the official Crossfire trailer. Oddly enough, guys, the next bit of news also has to do with an MMOFPS game. This time it's Karma Online. And the news is that the closed beta for Karma Online will begin on June 7th and will end on June 21st. And for those that didn't know, Karma Online used to be an MMOFPS game that was supposed to be published by EG. Back then it was called Karma Operation Barbarossa. But when EG shut the game down, the game was dead for a while. It never actually launched. But eventually Joymax said that they would publish the game as Karma Online Prisoners of the Dead rather than Karma Operation Barbarossa. Now, gameplay wise, it's still supposed to be the exact same game, but it's kind of cool the game isn't dead and now it's being revived by Joymax. And the game is supposed to be a World War II themed MMO shooter, which I guess is a bit different. The next bit of news, guys, which also came on May 31st, has to do with Land of Chaos Online. The news over there is that Land of Chaos introduced a brand new hero called Lacrimoso, if I said that correctly, and Lacrimoso is the latest character in Loco, and it is now available to play. The new hero itself primarily focuses on Dex, Int, Wiz, and MP. And if you didn't know, Land of Chaos Online is a more action-oriented and MOBA-style MMO. MOBA standing for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, much like League of Legends and Heroes of the Earth, though with a more emphasis this time on actual action-oriented combat. Up next, guys, on June 2nd, 2011, Eden Eternal announced that it will begin its closed beta today, and that is on June 2nd, actually. Several events have already been lined up for the closed beta, including exclusive items for all closed beta players, as well as daily events and contests. Now, the game itself was developed by the award-winning team behind Grand Fantasia and Kitsusaga, and if you couldn't tell from the graphics already, it's an anime-inspired MMORPG, which actually reminds me of both Kitsusaga and Grand Fantasia, except with more crisp graphics. The game's closed beta has been pretty popular so far already, and through Respawn, Area Games has already launched a second server for the closed beta. It is worth mentioning, though, that Eden Eternal has no scheduled open beta date yet, so the game is still in closed beta, meaning characters will be wiped after the beta phase. Up next, on June 2nd, 2011, Outspark released a new Priest class for Divine Souls, their 3D fantasy action MMORPG, which is aiming to compete with Vindictus and other 3D action MMORPGs. The Priest itself is a holy warrior which uses soul sights in battle. The Priest can use lightning, poison, and healing arts to help themselves and allies in battle. It joins the fighter, slasher, and mage classes, and is the 4th class to be introduced in Divine Souls. The next bit of news, guys, comes on June 2nd, 2011, is actually a bit interesting. GoGo Racer is launching worldwide. And for those that didn't know, GoGo Racer was our 3D racing MMO, which was published by Gamers First years ago. And the game shut down fairly quickly, but it looks like the game is being revived once again by Radiance Digital Entertainment. As is, the game is already available in China, and the game's developer is looking for more publishers worldwide, but the company is trying to bring GoGo Racer back to the West. Now, considering there really aren't that many kart racing MMOs out there, it might not be such a bad idea to bring GoGo Racer back from the dead. Now, if the company behind GoGo Racer actually wants to get the game popular, they better release a trailer for the game that is better quality than this. Blurry trailers for the lose. Next up, Snail Games USA announces that The Chosen will be accepting closed beta registration starting June 13th. And The Chosen is a new 2D MMORPG that's going to be published by Snail Games. And it's a game based on Chinese mythology, and it'll feature 5 dynasties for players to choose from: Qin, Han, Tang, Song, and Ming, as well as 6 playable classes. The video you're seeing right now is a CG trailer for the game. There's no actual gameplay trailer out there for The Chosen yet. The game is called The Chosen in the West, but however, the game in China is called Tianzi, and the game's graphics actually look more like Dragonoth or EU Demons Online. And if you didn't know, guys, Snail Games USA also publishes Heroes of Gaia as well as Ministry of War, 2 browser-based games. So this game itself will be client-based. Up next, guys, on June 3rd, 2011, Perfect World Entertainment announced that it is part of the Zombie Studios to publish a brand new game called Blacklight Retribution, which will be its first FPS game. And that's Perfect World's first FPS game. Now, keep in mind, Perfect World did not actually develop Blacklight Retribution. Instead, they are publishing it. The game will utilize the UN3 engine as well as DirectX 11. And graphically speaking, the game does look a bit interesting because it doesn't seem modern-day tactical. Instead, it does look a bit futuristic, sci-fi-ish, and cool. Unfortunately, guys, there is no official release date for the game yet. Also on June 3rd, 2011, guys, Addusmore came out and announced that Luvenia Online, their upcoming MMORPG, will begin accepting closed beta signups. Luvenia Online is set to begin beta testing this summer and is accepting its closed beta invites. Luvenia has 3 basic classes and 12 subclasses for players to choose from. And for those that don't remember Luvenia Online, the game was officially announced by Outspark, I think a long time ago. I'm talking at least 6 months ago, and we finally got some news about the game. The game will feature over 50 cities in the game and over 100 maps. Now, graphically speaking, the game actually looks a lot like Fiesta Online or an Asa story, except with crisper anime-inspired graphics. Now, the game itself was actually developed by a Chinese MMORPG developer called Shanda Games. Well, guys, that's it for MMO news. But as for upcoming games, we have nada. But as for games recently launched, we have Prius Online from G-Potato, which began its open beta testing phase on June 2nd, 2011. And of course, nowadays, open beta does mean pretty much full release. During the open beta testing phase, G-Potato will raise the level cap from 25 to 50, as well as introducing second classes for all the races, as well as a new female Iron race. During open beta, G-Potatoes promised new dungeons, as well as a new bounty system, as well as the ability to summon Gigas at level 30. Anyway, guys, that's it for MMO news and announcements for the week ending June 5th, 2011. If you want to read about or learn more about any of the news mentioned in this video, simply head on over to mhot.com/news. And if you want to discuss anything in this video, simply head on over to mhot.com/forums. Anyway, guys, this is Omer, signing off.